What's good, y'all? It's Krill from Out the Box. I'm back for another lyric explanation video. And today I'm going to be looking at some lyrics from a particular artist and a particular album of that artist. That artist's name is Homeboy Sandman. So we're going to be looking at some lines from his actual new project, which was released. It was like last Friday, but it's more of a deluxe version of his rich themed project series, where he released Rich and Rich 2 plus 4 Butter remixes that project. So it was released last Friday. And yeah, I'm excited to be looking at some lyrics from him because he's one of the dopest MCs out there, that's been doing this thing for a long time. So again, as always, when I do these lyric explanations, it's just based on my observation. It's open to interpretation. The results that I get from my observation of the lyrics are not set in stone. You know, other people can have different perspectives. All right. So let's look at the first song and the select lyrics from that song. So that song is going to be Off the Rip, the Steez Lords remix. And that is actually on the Deluxe album. It's one of the bonus tracks on the Deluxe album, but the lyrics are pretty much the same from the original Off the Rip song. So it's pretty much the same lyrics, whether it's the remix or the original song. All right. So the lyrics that I'm going to be looking at pretty much say the words: all new skin, modern living with a whole new spin. Give it a whirl. There's better advantages on top of the world. One of the countless advantages of loving my girl. Energy is real. There's what I see and what I feel, and what I see has more appeal than that is fear. So I think what Homeboy Sandman is saying in these lines is that he has this new outlook on life that's ultimately bringing him better peace and joy. All new skin, right? Perhaps he's talking about the way he now looks, the way he dresses, the way he talks. Then he says, modern living with a whole new spin. He's basically talking about approaching this commercial modern living from a different perspective. He seems to be more aligned with the simple things in life as opposed to the everyday average things people do, getting caught up in this commercially acceptable modern way of living. And the reason why I'm able to deduce that is because of, if you listen to a lot of his other lyrics, the things that he's into, the things he talks about, that simple life seems to be more attracting to him, so that's what I observed. Now, the next line he says is, give it a whirl. There's better advantages on top of the world. One of the countless advantages of loving my girl. So when he says, give it a whirl, it sounds like he's saying, give it a WHIRL, which whirl also means, like spinning or moving rapidly around and round. So that makes sense because he says the word spin right before, but he could also mean give her the whirl because he references his girl later on in that line. But either way, the point he makes when he says there's better advantages on top of the world makes sense, because what I think he means is that he's able to see the world from a different vantage point. Usually, if you climb a mountain, right, and you're able to look down at the city you're on top of, you get to obviously see that city from a whole different view. So whether he's giving things a spin, which is like taking a new chance or a new opportunity, or he's actually giving his girl the world, might be that they're traveling the world together. He's actually seeing another view of the world, which is why he says there's better advantages on top of the world. And it makes even more sense when he says one of the countless advantages of loving my girl. Due to the love he has for his girl, it's allowing him to explore the world in new, refreshing ways. Now that I think about it, I think the traveling idea makes a lot of sense. Let's go to the next lines. So we're going to be looking at a specific set of lines from the song Crazy Halloween Remix. Now, this is actually one of the bonus songs where the lyrics are actually different, right? And the beat also is different, right? So the lyrics go like this: I never think if someone did it, I could do it too. I always think if no one did, I could do it first. I can do it better if they did it worse. If they could do it, I could do it in reverse. This is a brilliant set of lines. I think the message is pretty self explanatory, but it also is so cleverly written and recited. He says, I never think if someone did it, I could do it too. On the first hand, I'm thinking, why would that not be a good thing? It's usually a phrase that you hear when you want to be motivated by someone to achieve also. But in this sense, I think he's referring to people who are mainly followers. They do what the next person is doing because it's cool or acceptable by a popular audience, or they do things just for attention, right? But in this particular sense, he's talking about the qualities of being a leader and not a follower. Then he says, if no one did it, I could do it first. I can do it better if they did it worse. So he's basically pushing the boundaries of being a leader or just embracing being an innovator. It goes back to this notion of him having a different perspective again. While this other guy is focused on doing what other people are doing, he's thinking ahead to be able to create something first. But if it so happens that they did it already, he believes he can improve on it. Hence the words, I can do it better if they did it worse. Then he doubles down by saying, if they could do it, I can do it in reverse. In other words, he means he's so good at it that he could do it in reverse. The two words that stand out when I think about these lines is confidence and innovation. And what's pretty clever is the pattern of words and rhymes he chooses in these set of lines. The words did it and do it appear repeatedly in the rhyme. He also sets off the message with the first lines by saying, I never think if someone did it, I could do it too. And then he uses the other lines to build upon the message. But this is where we also hear him rhyme the words do it first, did it worse, and in reverse. Brilliant, man. So let's go to the next set of lines. And this is from the another one of the bonus songs, the Thank You remix. And this is another bonus record where the lyrics are different than the original Thank You record, right? And of course, the beat is different as well. So the lines that I'm selecting from that song pretty much go like this. Thank you to the people who disagree with me, mature enough for linking up to have a cup of tea with me. Thank you, folks that gave me second chances. For my calculations led to answers or led to wrong ones. Sometimes trial and error is the only way to get sums. Thank you to the sun when the dawn comes. Okay, so let me start by saying this whole song in itself is dope. He has a lot of lines that resonate from a place of gratefulness that makes you like him even more as an artist, right? But these lines that I'm going to be breaking down are among the many that stand out on the song. So he starts by saying, thank you to the people who disagree with me. Mature enough for linking up to have a cup of tea with me. That line showcases his humility. He's not afraid to admit when he makes mistakes, and he's thankful to those who not only disagree with him, but these are a particular type of people who are also mature enough that he would also be happy to have a cup of tea with. So he's doing two things here. He's thanking those who disagree with him, possibly because he learned something new that was beneficial to him. Or it doesn't have to be. He could have actually been correct in the discussion that he had, right? But he's really emphasizing the quality of being a mature adult and showing that there's people out there that he respects that are able to have a positive relationship with beyond any disagreements they had. I think it's also clever that he uses the words have a cup of tea, because tea is usually something you drink in a calm, respectful environment, as opposed to drinking alcohol or beer, which could take place in a more rowdy environment and could lead to more disagreements because of that type of drinking. He goes on to say, thank you, folks that gave me second chances, for my calculations led to answers or led to wrong ones. Sometimes trial and error is the only way to get sums. So he's basically saying he thanks those that gave him second chances, even though he might have been wrong in his answers. He recognizes their mature and positive qualities again, and he deduces that sometimes you got to make mistakes to really learn, right? Hence the word sometimes trial and error is the only way to get sums. Sums also is a mathematical word for answer, right? Then he closes that line beautifully by saying, thank you to the sun when the dawn comes. What I think he's trying to convey is that no matter what challenges or mistakes he's made in that day, he's grateful to have lived through it and overcome it to be able to see a new dawn. He's thankful for the sun to be able to see the next day. As the dawn arrives, he knows he's going to get to see a new day. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for taking the time to watch and listen to this lyric explanation video. Please remember to subscribe to this channel when you get a chance so you're notified when I post a new video. And also feel encouraged to like the video so hopefully it gets out to more folks that are interested in seeing this content. Much appreciated. I want to say have a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Take it easy.